Right.
So staying, as cliche as it may sound, no one is just a housewife. And I, for the love of me, have never liked that term because you're not just a housewife. You're actually the director of your home. You're the CEO of that home. That home won't run unless you're in charge. You're making that schedule. You are working a full-time job. And I always want, there's always a white picket fence. And there's always the statement, the grass is greener on the other side. It just depends on how you water your grass. So each individual one of us, we have to be able to look in that mirror every morning. And I say, look in it raw when you come out of the shower. And if you don't like the reflection, you need to change it. And only you can do that. No one, whether you have children, you're married, boyfriend, girlfriends, whatever. This is your life. Live it and be your own leader.
Mary Ellen, thank you for joining us on Moms, Moguls, and Mayhem today. We're so happy to have you here. Lauren and I are both major fans of not only you, but baking, baked goods, and you are the queen of it. And we're happy to have you today.
Thanks, girls. Thanks for having me.
Excited.
All
We're
right,
excited.
Yeah.
And both of us love your story. I love the story about how you were baking as a young girl with your nanny and the whole. I could just picture you with the powder and the sugar. And for a lot of people, it's a relaxing sort of. I would love you to tell us, at what point did this passion or, this like bonding experience with your grandmother?
That was like mine too, exactly.
How did it become this, entrepreneurial vision that became super successful?
Yeah.
Well, so the backstory is my mom was one of 7. So my nana, she would make everything homemade. My mom would work. My mom had gone through a divorce, and my brother and I always would go after school or even younger to my nanny and pop-pop's house. So I was exposed to tons of things as a child, probably more than the average bear. But for some reason, I don't have a sweet tooth. I never did.
Oh,
and I never will. I have a very bitter palate, but she would make this sour cream pound cake and put chocolate icing on it. And to this day, it is my brother and I's favorite cake. So for his birthday, I still make Nanny's recipe. Obviously, growing in the masses as I have, Nanny's recipes are not incorporated actually in my business. They are for personal and family use only.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a very compartmentalized, like boundary person. Like this is meant to be my secret. You know what I mean? Like this is meant to be part of my family and not for the masses. And I get that it's amazing and things. So as a child, I was exposed to all of this. And then I knew at a very young age, probably around 10, nothing was going to stop me. And my parents knew it too. My mother would always say, I wish your brother was more like you and you were like your brother. Because my brother was definitely more of the dependent one and I was Miss Independent. Like just, I'll walk to the school bus all by myself at 5 or 6 years old. So they knew they already had a pistol on their hands when I was a little girl. Yeah. I mean, I started, I think I was like 10 or 11 and I would, with the push lawnmowers, like the old school round, no electric, I would take that up and down the neighborhood and start cutting grass to make money. Like I knew in my head something was going to drive me to be my own boss. Naturally, I went into the medical profession and that's what my education's in. Culinary is not. Everything that I do is a God's gift and I give him all the praise for it. My mother was a terrible cook. No one could decorate. No one knows where the artistic ability came from. And when you realize at a young age, you were gifted and blessed with a talent and you're able to make your children happy, make a client happy. A woman asked me in my very first cake, I didn't know how to bake, like truly bake or decorate. She's like, can you do a Winnie the Pooh cake? And I was like, I can do anything you need me to do.
Wow.
No idea how to do it.
Fake it till you make it,
Well,
girl.
it's true. Wow.
Yeah. And then from that, I realized I realized from making cakes, and then I would go to this mom and pop, and they're no longer in business, unfortunately, due to COVID. It was called Cannon's Cake and Candy Supply. And the son and the daughter would run, the supply store. I would walk in. I'm young. I'm 17, 18. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I walked in and I was like, so how do I bake a cake? I just asked questions, and I would go through the aisles and I would listen to everybody else around who were professional bakers and chefs, and they would come in, and that's how I started. I started asking questions. And to this day, that son, he's elder now. He personally follows me, and he's like, I will never forget the day you walked in my store. I said, I won't either. And then it went from cakes to learning how to do chocolate. So I just continuously taught myself. And then I was like, I'll never touch fondant ever. Well, then all of a sudden I realized that I was playing with edible Play-Doh. What did we do as we were children? We played with Play-Doh. I was raised in a household, you don't come inside until it's dark out. So you better get creative and adventurous, and you got to survive. Survival skills are all in point.
So
I mean, if we have out of the garden hose, we're all okay.
But that takes a lot of courage, Mary Ellen, because you're saying I believe you were studying to be an occupational therapist. Am I correct? So, to pivot and go from, a career in the medical field, and then to say, oh my God, I'm gonna take a chance and, go into baking, and which is incredible, but it takes courage to sort of do what your heart sometimes tells you to do, not what other people are telling you to do, or so you pivoted, and that takes courage. It really
does. And passion.
It's passion, it's courage, and it's determination.
Yes.
And look, I'm not living on in a mansion on a hill. I live in a quaint little apartment, and you know what?
That's the best.
I will probably stay there until an opportunity arises and I have to move. So how I went from medical to baking is actually the core question that everybody asks. I was taking care of patients every single solitary day. My stepfather had fallen ill when I was in college. So then I'm taking care of patients during the day in education, and then coming home and taking care of my stepfather. And then I realized, if I'm physically and medically with medications or, training, helping these people to survive, all of a sudden that Winnie the Pooh cake or that chocolate lollipop that I just made put a smile on somebody's face and made their day. And at the end of the day, it made them happier than going through all the medical problems.
That's right. That's
100%.
right.
And I was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open a shop. And I'm super philanthropic. Like, I'm beyond philanthropic. But at the end of the day, if I can help anybody in any resource, I'm your woman. Like, I will be there behind the velvet curtain, or I'll be there in the limelight, whatever is needed. So I took everything that I've learned along the way and took the God-given gift that I was blessed with to be able to produce product, to make the wheels grind, educate my young staff, and be a role model to them. Like, this is how life should be. Follow your dreams. Never give up. And
you have such a good energy, right?
And as a young kid, you knew.
I knew.
I'm astounded by that. You knew. You're of a young, young
It's
kid.
true. Well, you know what I love about that is that, I mean, I'm certainly no baker like you are, but ever since my 3 kids that were little, 3 and, older, we always had baking Fridays, and we'd pick something out of it might not look as good as it tasted, but and still my kids are in their 20s now, and they love baking, and they'll text me like, Mom, I'm baking this. I loved baking Fridays. And you're right. Like, it actually is just, it's such a good family heartwarming bonding experience. And I love that.
It not only the bonding experience, it's the tradition that whether we're now at our age, we look back fondly, and your children will do it as well, just like I did it with my nanny. They are amazing memories. Whether the good times or bad times, you'll remember the things that made you smile growing up.
That's right.
Especially now with technology. It's like, let's get these cookies going. Like, let's like bonds, let's engage,
No,
right?
kids
I mean,
love it. Thank God they do.
yeah, I mean,
They're little bakers.
I need to bake with my kids. I mean, this is like, this is
Well, my
amazing.
son, funny enough, I have 2 girls and my youngest boy, he's 17, loves baking more than anyone else in the family.
He's into
I mean,
it.
he went to baking classes, so it sparked something in him. So I love it. But enough about us. You know what? My next question is, I know you signed your first lease at 33. That must have been such an overwhelming and amazing feeling. Did you have any idea from that lease signing how big you would eventually become?
Look, we all have dreams, and I'm not even at the top of my mountain yet. I know where I want. So this is a really good question. My dream was just starting. Like I was just a seedling in the plant box.
Mhm.
And I'm still growing. Like think of a sunflower. They grow really tall and then they face the sun.
Yeah.
So I'm only halfway grown for what I want to achieve. So I know what my true end game is. What do I really want to do with this? Am I just
Mhm.
going to always stay in that brick and mortar that I signed the lease to? And I was there for almost 18 years. I mean, I was there for a long time, but in
Yeah.
18 years, I learned a lot of lessons of life. And I
Yes.
realized I hadn't had a weekend off in
Oh,
18 years.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
hadn't taken an actual vacation. I still haven't taken an actual vacation because right now, this is my child. I'm watering it to grow.
Mhm.
So when it's just like, I unfortunately wasn't blessed with children and I'm just a kick ass auntie.
Oh, that's the
that's
best.
great.
And aunties are amazing. We pop in, we make a ruckus, and then
Exactly.
You bring gifts and then you go. It's perfect.
at the end of the day, I needed to make a change for myself. So 3.5 years ago, I was like, I'm going to free fall, jump off the cliff, go into mass production. So that's where we are now. I'm just learning along the way. There's not somebody over here teaching me like, this is what you got to do now. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If it
What?
feels right and your gut is telling you you're going to be okay, jump. And that's always been one of my true lessons of life. I might not have all the answers. I may not have it figured out. I may not know what's going on tomorrow. But you know what? I know I'm going to be successful at whatever I'm going to put my mind to. And I've already proven it to myself. It just depends on the direction of now my life where I want to go.
Exactly. Listen to your gut, ladies.
Listen to your gut.
Right. That's
Doesn't
right.
feel right, change it.
100%.
And it's about the journey. I mean, it's about learning, like you said, learning as you go. We were all kind of, with us too. I mean, that resonates because, we're always learning, growing with this podcast. That's a perfect example. I appreciate that.
And I mean, for each individual one of you, you've both pivoted and you've changed and you've morphed into who you are today. So staying, as cliche as it may sound, no one is just a housewife. And I, for the love of me, have never liked that term because you're not just a housewife. You're actually the director of your home. You're the CEO of that home. That home won't run unless you're in charge. You're making that schedule. You are working a full-time job. And I always want there's always a white picket fence and there's always the statement the grass is greener on the other side. It just depends on how you water your grass. So each individual one of us, we have to be able to look in that mirror every morning. And I say, look in it raw when you come out of the shower. And if you don't like the reflection, you need to change it. And only you can do that. No one,
That's right.
whether you have children, you're married, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. This is your life. Live it and be your own leader.
I love that.
Absolutely.
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 It's true. Only you can change it. You have the power within you. And I think that's fantastic because
Me too.
you know,
No matter what you've been through, you can still make that change. Every day is a new day. And you know what? Life is precious. And you just have to be, I mean, I wake up just thankful to God that I woke up that day, because you never know.
you create your own story,
That's
which
right.
segues into QVC.
Lauren's favorite part of this.
I
She just
am
pumped up.
so excited about this.
Yeah.
And I love the story about how initially they had approached you, I believe, like back around, I don't know, 2007, like the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was 2007. It's about 12 years now. So that's about right.
Yeah, and then what? Then QVC came back to you in 2020 and was like, "Let's go. We want these cake pops."
Well, it was really funny. When it originally came to me, it just was not a good time. I was going through a divorce. My mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I was her sole caretaker while running a successful business with 18 employees. And I was like, unless there's a basement underneath of my shop, none of this will be done. And I'm not going to sink the battleship by just saying yes because it's a cool opportunity. I really thought about it. Came down to dollars and cents and the physicality of it. I was like, I will be digging my own grave. And I was like, I'm not ready for that. So I said no, a lot of no's to get there because I didn't want to hear no.
Okay.
I have been probably the only one that said no. Then when it resurfaced after COVID, that same person who made that same phone call to me called me again.
Oh my
If you save the important people that cross your paths, name in your phone.
Yep.
That has always been a cardinal rule of mine. And it may be just an association or how you may have crossed paths, but always save that number because you don't know when that number is going to pop up. And all of us with technology, if you don't have the name on the phone, we're not answering the call.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, so that name popped up and I was like, okay. And thinking like maybe he was ordering a cake for his family because he's a local gentleman. And I answered it and I said his name and I was like, he's like, how did you know it was me? He said, I have an opportunity for you. Are you willing to listen? I said, go ahead and deliver it to you. And I'm very black or white. I only see gray with elders and children. And I said, it's either going to be yes or no. So pitch your pitch. And that was decided. I said, I walked to that cliff and I jumped. There was no net. There was no harness. There was nothing. And literally I said yes. I still had a storefront. I had 800 square feet of a bakery. 800. I ripped out the whole front end of my storefront. I made it into a shipping center. I was still doing all my custom work. I had to rent reefer trucks and refrigerator trucks to put outside of my shop because my 10 by 10 cooler wasn't holding all the product that they wanted. I figured it out along the way. And we hit a lot of bumps. We hit a lot of hurdles. We hit some destructions. But anybody can come back from anything as long as you have the grit inside of you to stand up on your own 2 feet.
Absolutely. I mean, the grit it takes, I feel people don't understand what it takes in order to really, I mean, all you see is the glam, not the hard work behind the scenes.
Especially now with social media, you see,
Yeah.
the glamorous aspect.
We're all just beautiful, polished people on social media.
Are we though? I know. I love those filters.
I definitely don't wake up looking like this every day.
Yeah, no. We do that.
They don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to accomplish this.
Exactly. Which actually leads me to my next question. I read that during COVID, I mean, it was the craziest time that you actually ended up having to let go of all your employees and do it by yourself. That would be so stressful, even thinking about that. But there's the grit. You did it. So
during COVID, I had to actually let go of all my employees prior to COVID. I survived without any PPP help. Like there was nothing. I got denied because my employees had medical conditions and I had to let them go prior to COVID being completely deemed because I cared about them and their health more than anything. I then started taking my creative side, like how are we going to rub 2 nickels together to make $1? And then I came out with all the home kits and then all the other bakers and at-home bakers, they were like watching what I would put up and then they would follow suit. And it's totally fine. But building the clientele that I had done for all the years, they're like, we want her to survive. So it wasn't just me doing the grit. If it weren't for my clients, my customers who have turned into family and friends to support through that desperate time of need, I wouldn't be here. So I have to give where credit is due. And it's to all of my clients, supporters, my friends and family to get me through one of a difficult time of our life. And because I was dealing with the public, I then turned around to all of my family. I would just order in the food trucks and I would dispense food Like I would make boxes of chicken and vegetables. And I just was like, we all have to survive. Like we're not in this as an individual thing. So you have to find your greater good in making an experience for everybody.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I
That's
know,
amazing.
we're an
Maybe-
excited kind of talk.
I'm like, girl, I'm loving you. I'm like, wow. No, it's so
just
true.
flip, yeah, you flip it, you know,
Yeah.
instead of the doom and gloom of what, you know, so many people, you know, really suffer during that time.
And that is the whole point. And I want all of our listeners to always know is that there's always a solution. You just have to find it.
No matter
you
what
know,
the
no matter what
obstacles.
the
You
obstacles
have to
are.
keep going and
Everyone has
fighting
low
through.
moments. Everyone has low moments in business where they
Yes.
don't know if they can
Yeah.
go on another day. But that's when true growth happens.
Yep.
Is when you
feel the fire.
That's
It's like, I
right.
have to get through this. I'm going to get through this.
Well, and that's, I mean, I love the title of your show, Moms, Moguls, and Madness. It's all madness. Every day of our life is madness. It just
And it's also, yeah.
depends on how you undress the madness, you know?
so true.
And I mean, it's lovely. I mean, I'm not a mom. I'm just a kick-ass auntie, but I'm a mogul. So in all retrospect, it's an amazing feeling because I may not go home to the children and the white picket fence and the dogs and the playground in the background, but I'm doing it in a different aspect and cohesively, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And everybody's path is different and everyone's, you know, we're all about female empowerment, girl.
And hey, I'm ready to go. Let's get our crowns, girls.
Let's get them.
Well,
Let's have-
I think we all should have tiaras and crowns at this point.
You know,
I would love to.
exactly.
I have to say, I would love a little crown, especially with this blizzard that's been going on. You know, in the Northeast, a little
I'm
sparkle help my mood.
I know it's been a little bit
Been
crazy.
Been a little nutty.
Thank God March is right around the corner.
Yep.
Well, sometimes Mark's coming in like a lion, so you never know what we're gonna get this weekend.
No,
I'm just
take it
trying to be hopeful.
beach girls. Sort
Yes.
of like
Well, I told my UPS driver today, I was like, do you have the palm tree in there?
So you know what else, Laura? I know that you were going to ask Mary Ellen about like her legacy and all that stuff.
yes, yes. Oh my God.
So she loves legacy questions, Lauren.
Yes,
I
I'm
love
all about the
Way.
legacy. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, your dream, your legacy, and what, gosh, I mean, what do you really want your legacy, I guess, to be as far as, you know, for women, inspiring those who want to do this and are afraid to do something like this?
Mhm.
What would you say, you know, your legacy, you know, is?
So it's a great question. And I have a wonderful answer for you because to me, my legacy is my end game. So right now, I have Mary Ellen's, I have Evil Sweetness, and I have the girl behind the pink door. Mary Ellen's is my creativity. Evil Sweetness is my heart. And the girl behind the pink door is my brain. So
Oh.
each one of us beautiful women out there in the world need to not just focus in on one thing.
Mm.
At the end of the day, the fourth thing that would make me glow and be happy is to be on a cover of a national or international magazine sitting on a purple throne with stags behind me for all of my philanthropic contributions.
Wow. You know what? I may start a magazine again just so I can make that happen for you.
I would love it.
That would be amazing.
Because at the end of the day, whether you have 2 pennies to rub together, 5 cents to rub together, it doesn't matter how much money that you have. It's about how you distribute your heart, your creativity, your drive, and your grit. Whether or not your next door neighbor is going through a hard time, make them a batch of cookies. It'll put a smile on their face. It
Yep.
doesn't have to be the larger philanthropic. It can be the smallest little things. But at the end of the day, you know that you're going home to rest your head knowing that you've done an amazing thing today.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it could be just the minutest little thing. I mean, I am fortunate enough because of all of the hard work I've put into to be on executive boards for charities. And when I sit on that purple throne one day, that will be everybody's nod to know that I formulated one of the best giving charities ever.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love that.
So how can we get involved? How can our listeners get involved? How can we order your amazing cake pops? How do we find you?
Well, you can find me. I mean, you can call me and I will answer. And it's funny because everybody's like, if we call to place an order, do we, get an automated or somebody else? I'm like, you actually get to talk to me. And that is one of my cardinal rules. It's one of my boundaries. I will always answer the shop line or you'll get a return call from me. However, on all social medias, how you can order our product is maryellenscakepops.com. All the cake pops and the bliss cookies, Aunt Mare's blissfully sweet cookies. It's 2 cookies in one. We ship them internationally and nationally. If you're local to the area, you can pick up anything custom. You can go to all of our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Mary Ellen's Cake Pops, Instagram, Mary Ellen's Cake Pops, and then TikTok, Evil Sweetness. That is the best way that you can support me, that I can continue to support everybody around us. And then also how you can get involved is by reaching out and following us on social media. And when there is a charity event, whether it's the Eagles Autism, whether it's Brian Dawkins Impact, whether it's ALS, whether it's one of the local communities, we will be there. We will post it. And if you want to help and contribute, I'm right there. I will always be there to support anybody who wants to be involved.
Well, you're a complete inspiration, and
Yeah.
you show that when you come from a place of good and a place of wanting to help,
Yeah.
that's when beautiful things happen, because you want to help people. I could see your whole face light up when you talk about
No, it's
how
true.
your products really, truly make such a difference in someone's life. So I think thank you. I think that's
Yeah.
a beautiful.
I will say this. When you are looking through anybody, even if you don't see kindness in them, give a little patience and have that conversation, because at the end of the day, every one of us is kind. You just have to have patience to find it.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I need more patience.
We
I
need you in
more
our life,
patience.
Mary Ellen.
All of a sudden now I'm going to be on your podcast weekly.
I'm like, Mary Ellen, I'll be calling you later for more advice. Okay.
When we want to kill somebody driving in these New York streets with the snow melting and the honking, I'm going to breathe. Think Mary Ellen said, okay, please.
Hold on.
calm
Where
down.
where is she?
Where is she? Where is she?
I'm totally coming up with cake pops and bliss cookies, and we're gonna all wear crowns one
This
day.
might be something else that you're doing. You have the Mary Ellen's Cake Pops. You might be this like spiritual guru. I feel your energy through.
I mean,
feel this-
look, that's what the evil sweetness is for.
Oh, that's so awesome.
A little bit of good and bad. You have to have that yin and yang.
That's so true.
Yep.
That's so true.
I love that.
The
logo.
good and the bad right here. No, I'm only kidding.
Devil
Well,
angel.
thank you so much, Mary Ellen. You are
Ladies,
so
it was
awesome.
fun.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank
Have a great day. And
You too.
we're going to be ordering from you very soon.
Love me.
Sounds good, girls.
Thank you. Keep
Thanks,
Bye.
Mary Ellen.
keep on achieving, girl.
Bye.
Thank you.